اوه سلام يا ضبطت كل شيء. يا عيوني يا لا يا لا يا لا يا لا يا الله الله. السلام عليكم. معكم السلام والرحمة. يا لا يا لا يا لا يا عيوني يا لا يا لا يا الله الله. لايكاتكم على اشتراكات. هلا عابد. عاود نبدأ الساعة 2 الحدث هو.
الساعة كم؟
ساعة 1 و26 دقيقة. بالله عاد كيف وقت البث؟ بالله مو خطير على مستوى.
عود زين لو تصبح مني لين الظهر.
2 الصبح شوي.
بث عن ويش؟ هذا مجموعة.
عاود خلنا نلعب كريس وعدنا الليدر عاود.
الليدر لازم.
هذا الليدر.
طلنا بوكسات ترى بقى تعطيك تك.
حط سفا ربع.
لا لا بلا ما نتعايش.
يا خلنا.
الحرية.
هاي ايش قصده هاي دقيقة.
يلا من ساعتين. ما انا وش قصدي. انا احط سكن.
سعدت اساسا انك انت تدير شباب مواجهتكم. مع السلامة. الله يستر عليك.
زين درنا بعطيك كيكات.
ها تعال. يا لا يا لا ابى الحين كرييتيف. تبى ربع.
انا مدير ما لعبت معك لكن بحط بوكسات بمص زي ما تقول انا.
والله ما حد كان اخذ.
حاول الحين لدت عندي الارتي ولا
ارتو ولدت.
لو الى مرضو.
ها
اللي عدل اللي قفل وياه.
اروان قص.
ما هرق لا اروان ولا ارتي. اكتب في احد. احنا عندنا مشاهير كثير.
ها
كثير هذا ما لو اول لا تبون عليك اليوم.
يو كله عز الله هاي الصح. يلعن ام الحالة. ما بالوسخ. الله يلعن ام الحالة يا عيال.
تعال على حق
عابد. ما طلع لي ماب اس ساعة كاسة. لخبطت انا يا ولد.
لما ما بعرف بلاس مطور.
تعال شوف هني. تعال شوف تعال.
هذا السيف.
هذا اللي تطير شوف انت هانك تشوفها. اي هني يمديك تشوف. انا يمديك تشوف. تعال
طب تعال خش بوكسات تعال.
انا مسوي بوكس فايت. تعال
هذا هنا بوكسات.
انا عندي بوكس فايت. تعال نضبط.
انا من زمان الظاهر ما قال لي. نبدا
يا خلنا نجلس.
اللي ما حميته يا بنقي. يا كذا نظام ها. دقيقة ايديوت ما اللي قدر العب. انا اقول والله اطبقي حميت
محمد رجال يا محمد تعال خير رجال محمد رجال. الله درت خويك بكاكس عيب عليك تعرف هذا نوب لازم نجد بكاكس.
طيب اصبر طيب انا نعلمك. عندي 150 يا كلب حس طيب ملوم كان جايبك تقول بنجي 150 اما كم بنك
90 80 عقبانقي 164 الحين.
ربك هذا ينديت من هنا يبني
هو يعطيك 200
يا شقاق البناية
والله لو اوريك يا عيال شهدوا علي. جاتك بيكاكس مرتين بعدين جاتك 3 مرات. اوكشنو عوب ترفع
والله وانا بنجي 150 والله لو اني بنجي
كذاب مو بنقى 150 يا رجال اقسم بالله.
انا صورتك
عصرك انا.
مبنك وش مبنك قاعد ياخذ فيك 4-2 والله لا يبلونه مبنك وشط علي.
لا تكذب عليك والله انكم مبنق يا خداب، انا لو انكم لقق ما تسوي
والله شفت يومين ماني مبنك.
اخذ فستك فيك يا جيش. هذا اللي ما هو مبنق يعني، قالوا انه ما هو مبنق انا اخذت مجداب بالراحه.
طيب يا تعال شو جبناه؟
اوريك انا اوريك. والله ما تروح والله انا حلف.
يلا ورني يلا ورني يا مبنك.
مبنق وانت مبنق ويقول كسر جاعي دخل ما كله بحركه العرقين.
ماني مبنك.
بيك اقدر اديها بيكس مرتين وما غير مره. واك 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 جاي هو حاقد والله شكله حاقد. أنا آسف ما كان المفروض أسوي اللي سويته. أنا أركز باللي حسيته في النهاية. أنا آسف ما كان المفروض أسوي اللي سويته.
ليش تدري كم ودم يعفع.
كان المفروض اسوي اللي سويته.
انا والله انا بسوي زي اللي ما ايام بن
لاق بديم يا ويلي. يا ويلي يا ابو ديم. يلا بلعب الله اقول لك. هوريك انا. من ام الحال.
هذه حالك.
ترى اكثر منك يا غبي يا ورعه. هذا
كيف نحول؟
لا
ذكاء.
على حركة الله. يلا 5-5 يلا 5-5. والله عرق وجهي.
قصص ما انا بنجي 150 الحين عرق.
الله احلف من 150. يا رجال يا رجال يا رجال يا رجال يا رجال اخليك اقسم بالله على الصفر اوريه 10 امثال اوريك انا اوريك اوري 10 امثال كنت تشوف اني ما خليتك على الصفر انا.
هدي
اقسم صور البنت 105 صور قدام المتابعين اوريهم باكلكم. يا جلست 200 يا عيال القم. يسعدك والله القم. ما تعرف المنو بذيل دائما كذا دائما.
اي والله دقيقة هذا كان مسوي والله سبح. لا تذبح بالله لا تذبح. ابو يوم يا العنكوب اسمه مامان يا ابو زيد
ها شوف وين رجع.
بلو طيب
السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام ورحمة.
بالله يلعنني يا طعام. كروب لو وضح ولا دبي.
طب
بروح ما معي.
طب 7 يا احمد 7. والله على واحدة على واحدة 5-1. دقيقة
لومن
دقيقة يا اخي اقسم بالله ما ادري علامة. دقيقة هذا دقيقة. في واحد سب بلبس في واحد سب. تعلمك عندي عشان اسوي بث اعاده طقطقه واستانس وانتي انت
شوفوا مجموعة اللي ورانا انه رحت ارقص يا والله
لا تعاقب تفوز يا ولد.
لا والله لا ابني
فوز يحرمني. كان بيقول ايش اللي فيك شوف.
يو يا
الله يلعن ام العاده. اي حاجه يفوز. العاده اقسم بالله اللي يسب هذا ويقطع. في واحد والله سب بس رحت سويت له استبعاد. انت ما انت علامك انت. عيون.
عندي خربان يا زلمه ضغط عيل. والله انا توقعت اني درك ما تفوز. نزل لي 1 بي.
اوه ماي جاد يا عيال الهد.
اعطاك كذا.
يا حرام لقلقت له جا ذبحني يا حرام. لنا دائما 5-5 بس ما تفوز ما تفوز. فوز يحرم عليك، الفوز يحرم عليك. ابلع. اسمع عابد، محسب لي لازم اذبحه. يا الله يقطع ام الحالة. عابد لا تغادر، عابد لا تغادر لا تغادر. حرام جلدتك. يلا ابدا. عابد باقي 6 دقائق على حد. اطلع برا.
تلقم ابوك علي 200.
اقطع لا القم وجهك. هلا باقي له 5 دقائق. اطلع.
وات كيف تطلع من الماب؟ انا لازم اضغط.
بدا الحدث انا اول ما خلص
الحدث من ضمنهم داير.
شنو
من ضمنه صح؟
وش ضمنه؟
قل لي ترى.
وش ضمنه اختفاجي؟
قل لي.
قل.
والله ما العب الا من معطيني الليدر.
بنلعب احنا كان شرق اوسط. بنلعب على الحدث بادي.
طب عطني الليدر الله يسلمك مكب.
الله يقطع عينك ما يمعطيك الليدر. قدري
يا ايش تعطيني؟ صادق واحد يقول هلعب يقول انا.
يلا حط حفله ملك اللي تحت. شفت ذاك اللي مكتوب عليه تشوفه؟
عارفه العب
ايه
العب انت.
شكله بث اسمه حدث العنصرية
على كيف ابوك.
يا كاتب عبان مع بيضة تشوف.
ما هذا يملك.
ما تشقق عينك فيها جرب.
طيب اصبر خلص.
احنا بس نتابع الحدث ونطلع نطفي البث
تعرف واحد بحسابه كيو اكس
دقيقة انت بس خلينا نخلص البث انت فاهم. والله صح. الساعة الحين 1:55 دقيقة يعني بقى 5 دقائق. بدون ما اطلق. عابد الشاشة الكبرى تشوفها انا.
يود انا مرتاح لما اطلع الفاصل. ليه حطي لي كذا؟ احنا نحاول نروق ما اضغط لها. خلاص يصبح في الصوان.
لا دخلنا نشوف الهدى.
انت سابق ولا وجدوا.
انت خلنا نروح عند اسمه الشاشة الكبرى تعال.
ضغط
الشاشة يا غبي.
وين هي؟
تعال معي انت غبي انت.
انا وراك ضغط ضغط.
تشوفها؟ 3 دقائق تشوف. شوف تعال.
او ماي
شوف
جاد.
عاود. ماي جاد. والله ما ادري يا
ردنا ما بقى. هذا ابو خشم. ابو راس. اي هذا مكان يحطون فيه الصناديق غسيل.
ما يمديك ترقص شكلي ما يمديك ترقص.
لماذا
يمديك تعوي. هاي لحظة تعال بقي 3 دقايق. باقي 2 دقيقتين.
على سبيد وشي.
طلع لك اللغة العربية الصينية ايش كذا الحين تطلع لك الصينية شوف. شوفها.
الحين تصير لك كرم.
تركية هذه. انت على ستارت. وين لغتنا احنا عربية؟ لغتنا طلعوا لغتنا طلعوا لغتنا طلعوا لغتنا طلعوا لغتنا.
استقر حق بوبجي.
طلعوا غلط. انت عمل كلب عنقه.
مو كلب بومه. انا صاحب حق العفو. انا شاحن دير.
سلام عليك سلطان اقسم بالله كفو. هلا عيال الحدث شكله عن عنصرية. بس خلينا نشوف يا عيال ونحكم يا عيال.
وين دير نادر كبير. انا من الحقه ابو كراش وفادي ما يطلعوا البعض.
حلا بس انت
لا
عليكم انا والله عبد الله من عليكم السلام.
طلع لي
يا دحين يا بس بعدين
شوف لا انت كذاب والله كذاب.
السلام وعليكم السلام عبد الله من نوعات.
ها مودي عامة.
شوف الحدث.
يلا 30 29 28 27 26
عاود الكلب يا رب لا لعب معه.
23 22 21 20 19 18 مدري 17 16 15 14
13 12 10 9 8 7 6 5 4
صفر. بدأنا خلاص.
يلا
الدنيا علق. الو
طير هدا انت علام كود عرفت.
Okay, look now.
الو
يا ولد شي
طفت الشاشة. الكهرباء طفت. خلوك ورا يا عمي. وين خلوك هنا.
مرحبا بجميع. يا ولد ايش بقطع ايه. استمر يا اسطورة الله يسعدك يا دون.
So we have so many different
لأن
issues
لدينا
that
عدد من
happen in this
القضايا
country.
يعني
It's really truly
لا لا
unprecedented.
طب انا نهاية وقت المسابقة لانه مفعل.
I think you'll
تعال
be
ترجمة تحت تشوفونه يا عيال.
entertained, but most importantly informed.
انهاء حق وقت غير مسبوق مفعل عصاك السرطان.
And fairfight.com. Those resources are imperative as we try to change
يا ولد.
our future.
بتقول نحاول نغير المستقبل والعنصرية مدري ايش يتكلمون عن عنصرية.
لا تكذب علي.
ما تقرا انت ولا تقرا.
There's no way that we can talk about hip hop.
هنا حق الوقت غير مسبوق مفعل.
Black voter suppression.
بالفعل اللي مفعل. تقولون علي.
عندك كود دعم ان شاء الله، ان شاء الله اجيب كود دعم بعدين ان شاء الله.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for
الله
spending
أحد
some time
يفهم.
with us. Fun. I don't want to start heavy, but I guess I have to because that's where we are in the world today. It's heavy as hell. And when you think about what needs to happen in this country in terms of change, what's the first thing that you think of?
Equality. That's pretty much the first thing
أكثر
that
شيء
comes
لندير
to mind,
جزء
right?
كان
Black
حكم.
people need to be seen as equals in this world. You know, we had to fight just to be recognized as a real
انت خلنا
citizen
نقرا بس.
in this country and not 3/5.
انا عندي مو شاشة زرقاء.
In the culture and in the community, the one way that we can fight is obviously voting. Talk to me about what voting means to you.
I hear people all the time talking about one vote doesn't matter.
الو
and
هلا
voting
هلا
doesn't make a difference. If
وافي
that's
ابو
true, why
فله
do they
ابو
work
فله.
so hard to suppress the black vote? Because they understand the power of the vote. And so it's time that black people collectively also understand the power of their vote. And not just on the national level, because a lot of times we
انا
only
لكن
have this
هذا الحين
conversation every
حدثت
4
انا
years.
ذاك الربع.
People need to be very much involved in their local politics. They need to understand who their elected officials are, where they stand on issues that affect you. And you need to use your vote to either support the ones that care about you and your condition, or to elect people who do. A newer initiative that we're dealing with is educating felons.
هلا والله عقول نوعات امري.
If you're a felon, right? If you've been to jail or to prison, but you're no longer on
ولكن
probation
نمت
or parole, you have the right to register to vote. Another thing that was just brought to my attention is an initiative called Orange, which is happening not just in Houston, but all over the country. If you're in jail currently,
انا كنت
during pre-trial, but you have not been convicted, like you're still in jail waiting
أنا ما أشوف شيء.
for your day in court, you are still
فرج
eligible to vote.
And you said something so key. They work so hard to hope that we stay uninformed, but more importantly, to suppress the black vote. If you could do one thing with this message that we're trying to send today about how important voting is, what type of images would you like our people to understand and see
الحين
when they
تكلمون
go to
عن
these
عنصرية
polls
يا
and
مدري.
when they cast their ballots?
I think the images that we've all seen, you know what I'm saying, for decades in this country,
قود
if not
البلاد
centuries in this
ما
country, we've seen black people oppressed, we've seen black people attacked. So every time you look back and you see those old black and white images of people of color being attacked by dogs and people of color being sprayed with hoses, that's what they were fighting for. Back then, they were just fighting for a chance to vote. People like Martin Luther King Jr., people like Malcolm X, these people died to help us be in a position to have the power that we have now, which is to be able to cast a vote and make a decision about the people that have control over our lives. So, I mean, if you in your own community need a reason to vote, look at a person like George Floyd. If the people in your city are not open to police reform, are not open to having a conversation about defunding the police, are not open to issues concerning economic equality, judicial equality, and racial equality,
هذا شنو
you're scared to say Black Lives Matter.
كذا حدث
You
والله.
have the power to put people in those positions who do believe that Black Lives Matter,
Yes.
who do believe in racial equality, economic equality, judicial equality, right? Who see us as human beings. And if the people in your community don't feel that way, vote them out. It's that simple.
Yeah, Bumpy, you point out something so important. We have the power, and that is in our vote, and that is with our voice, and that's how we use our voice. I think it is a movement. Why, in your opinion, was it George Floyd's death? Why was that the chosen brutality for people to say, "Oh my God, black people are so oppressed in this country," and it is not.
I think it's twofold, Carrie. In so many different encounters between people of color and the police, there simply is no proof of what happened in the interaction. And so what happens is in a court of law, it tends to lean towards the policeman's point of view, right? In this case, we saw very clearly what happened. I think the other thing is due to the fact that everyone was at home, basically, during this time period in relation to the
الناس
crime.
يشوفون انا غير
It's
اشوف
avoided,
زرقاء.
right? It was on every television station. It was on every social media
نذكر جميع
platform.
منصات التواصل
Everywhere
الاجتماعي
you turn, you were
عليه
constantly hit
دائما
upside the head
نرى
with this message. You see
يتكلمون
in
عن
the interaction
عنصرية
that
مع
this man did
عنصرية
nothing to
لأنه
deserve
يستحق علينا ما
what
حدث له.
happened.
هذا صحيح.
So well said, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have to lose his life. I think that we touched on something that a lot of people talk about, and that is now defunding the police. That has been such a huge conversation, but there's so many misconceptions around defunding and dismantling. If you will, educate your audience.
All right, so most people, when they hear the term defund the police, they tend to think of, oh, they're going to take away our police department. Nothing could be further from the point. Defunding the police means that in certain communities,
يا انا بروح اخش بحساب خالد اسمع.
we had over $1 billion allocated to our
ولا
police. Now, what is that money being used for? Some of that money tends to be allocated towards riot shields, right? Pepper spray, right? That kind of thing. That's only
بخش
against
معك
people that
ارسلك مش معك.
fund this budget, right? So why would the people want to supply the police with the means to oppress them? The police are concerned about the situations in certain communities with a higher crime rate. Well, higher crime rates tend to happen in communities where there's not employment opportunities, right? There's not a lot of social services, and people are going to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their families. When the community has more opportunities for employment, more opportunities for upward mobility, then they tend to be a less of a strain on the government. They tend to have a lower crime rate, and because of that, we'll have less need for the police in those communities.
You are passionate about so many different things in terms of making sure that we are holding our leaders accountable. Talk to me about some of the other projects that you're working on.
Well, right now, obviously, being a part of More Than a Vote is essential. We're dealing with primaries in this country right now, and we just want to educate people. We want to inform people because people are tired, they're angry, they're concerned, and they want information and they want action. And so we want to make sure that we give them the right information and lead them in the right direction. And we thank the people that do not look like us for standing with us right now, because it's very important that people who aren't black be involved, because if black people could have gotten rid of racism, we would have done it hundreds of years ago. And so I'm trying to use my voice and my platform just to let people know that if they feel like I do, there's a number of places they can go to enact change in their community. People need to know about how their city council runs. They need to know that they have the ability to speak when city council meets, to let them know that that's not the way that they feel their city needs to be run. Those are not the places that they feel the money of their community needs to be allocated.
And Bubby, even a step further, they can run for office in their local community. They can run for positions. Like, people act like they leave it up to somebody else. If you're upset, it's not hard to get on the school board. It's not hard to be a part of the city council. It really isn't. And depending on how small your town is, you could be a mayor. It's the power is with the people, and we need to just know that that's happening.
Absolutely. And it's always been with the people. You know, if you look at Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, right? She felt that there was a system of racism and a system of oppression that led to her son's death. And so what did she do? She ran for city council, and she was elected city council. Our own former president, 44, Barack Obama, right, started in the community as an activist, ran for an elected position, became senator, ran for another elected position, and became president of the United States. So don't think that you can't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of power. Your voice is enough to make a difference.
Amen. I feel like I need to go out and run for something. You gave me a rousing speech there, sir. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this. When I talk to my brothers, I have to ask you, as a black man, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I have a very strong relationship with God, so prayer definitely works for me. I have children and grandchildren who are watching me, who are encouraged by what I do, and they're proud of me right now, you know, and that's really what matters, you know. The change starts at home, you know, so as long as you have a support system that believes in what you're doing and supports you in what you're doing, you have everything you need to go out there and fight the good fight. And for those that don't, there's a community of people here to help you. So you can go to places like morethanavote.org. There are many different places that will encourage you, inform you, and they will put you with groups of people that feel like you, that are ready to take action. So no one has to go about this alone if they want to do it.
Yeah. We're stronger together. People have been saying it, but that has much more meaning now that we are in our movement, not just this moment. Bumby, it has been an education, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep fighting the good fight.
Keep up the good fight.
Yeah, la la.
So our next guest, I have to admit, I'm a fan, but there are so many different people that we could talk to, and I thought it was so imperative that we speak with her. You know her as Molly on the huge, successful show Insecure, HBO's Insecure. She also has a comedy special highlighting her Nigerian roots, and she's an amazing podcaster. Let's welcome in Yvonne Orji, everyone. You have such a beautiful way of making things funny, giving us our medicine with some candy, right? The humor and the healing. You bring all of that to your space. And right now, as you look across this country and how everyone is so broken and so upset, if it's not on, how are you doing, quite frankly?
You know, I'm rediscovering self in a way that is hard but necessary, that will lead to ultimate joy. I know it sounds like a lot, but no, I think I personally think that God put all of us on a global timeout. Like we just, America hasn't done as good as other people when it comes to timeouts, because everyone else is out playing at recess, and we're still in the principal's office hoping and wishing we can come out. But I think that if we settle into the timeout and really learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn from this season, I think we'll emerge better. We'll learn how to play well with others in more ways than one. And so personally for me, I'm taking this time to learn me in a new way. I feel like I'm being ushered into a new season, and I'm getting still, because sometimes the busy uh, confounds the work that we're supposed to actually be doing. We're busy doing other stuff, but we got work that we need to do on the inside. And I'm leaning into it. I'm like, dang, I thought I was gonna be able to rest like everybody else. And God's like, nah, we got work to do.
You know what? And I think that's what everybody is saying about 2020. It's demanding that we be better. And you said it's a global timeout. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's like everyone sit down, be humble, to quote the great prophet Kendrick Lamar. But like, no, seriously, sit down and let's reevaluate some things. Let us unearth and shake up the things that we have been trying to hide within ourselves, within our nation. I think America is going through an unraveling right now, a much needed, a much necessary one, and I think all eyes on us, right? There is no, oh, I was on the subway for an hour, so I didn't miss that thing that happened. No, everybody was home. Everybody, was watching when George Floyd died, and everybody, no one could hide it. Everyone was watching when Amy Cooper called the cops. Like, this is a time where it's like, oh, we can't pretend it away. We can't excuse it away. No, 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 no. It's a global timeout. Sit down, watch, and let's learn. And globally, it's like, hey, we were going business as usual, but it ain't usual no more. Like that's old. Anytime change occurs, it's very uncomfortable. And so right now we're sitting with we're getting we're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
The minorities, we've been comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that to me explains just the existence for whatever we want to do, how we break into our careers, how we live our lives, how we find ourselves one of the few or one of the first. And that's a lonely road. When you look at, and you talk about this global timeout, everybody had to pay attention to Amy Cooper, everyone had to pay attention to George Floyd. How is that helping us as a people, as a country, during our global timeout?
I think, well, one, we're not minorities, Carrie. You already know it. It's like these labels that they put on us. It's like the same way of saying like black on black violence. Also, there's no white on white violence. It's branding,
Yeah,
right? It's all
yeah,
branding.
you're right. You're
It's
right.
like white people kill white people every single day. So no, there is no black on black violence. And if you say black on black violence, well then let's brand white on white violence. Like I watch Investigation Discovery. Ain't too many of us been featured. So, I just even like, but to answer your question, what does that do? I think what everyone expected is what has happened in the past when the world was still open, right? In that, okay, you had everyone, from Trayvon Martin to Castillo to Sandra Bland, you had all of these lives lost, and black people made some noise. We rioted, we got out in the streets, we started the Black Lives Matter movement, all of those things. And then white people kind of just like, oh, let's give them something. And then it's just like, Is it over? It's like Oscar's so black. Okay, good. We gave some Oscars. Are we good now? Like, are we even? You know, and it's now it's just like, oh no 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 no. This is not about like a band-aid. It's like, yo, we might have to amputate the leg a little bit, but it's all right because we gonna by amputating the leg we're gonna save the body. And so I think that's what's happening now. Like America is realizing like, oh, black people aren't just making a little bit of noise. Like the protests are still out. The conversations are still being had. The change is still being demanded. And I think they're seeing, oh, this is not going no way. And no, it's not because we need systematic change.
What a beautiful way to explore what is happening and describe our country. We might have to amputate the leg, but that's to save the body. That's what's happening right now. That's beautiful, Ravon. And to that end, I have to ask you this because the way that we do that, we use our voice. And our voice right now in this world, in this country, is good. And everyone talks about voting and how important it is, but I feel like more than ever we understand that it's not just about voting every 4 years for the man in office. It's about your local elections. It's about the mayor. It is about the district attorney, the people who have the power to bring charges against police if police brutality is an issue in your community. If you care about your school district, you can run for the school board. I ask this of you, right? Your parents are from Nigeria. You are Nigerian. You talk about that very lovingly. What does voting mean for you?
You know, I think voting is power. I remember, I became a naturalized citizen back in the 90s. Because I was still a minor. My mom naturalized, and so we were able to do it under her. And just even that power of like we are American citizens and all the access that we have by being citizens. One of those accesses and those access to power being voting. It's a big deal. It's a big deal because not only are we do we have the opportunity to be in the country, but now we can be of the country. We can be of the system. We can be of the rules. We can be of what it actually affords. But I think going back to your earlier comment about just the setup of systems, I think we are done a disservice either in schools or whatever it is. And I'm not putting teachers on blast. I think teachers do a phenomenal job, but for some reason, we do not, and give them all the reasons. I know too many parents who are like, I might.
يلا مع السلامة.